You know that feeling when you're in the zone, pounding away on a keyboard, and in the middle of a writing sprint that's like a caffeine rush for your creativity? If you're not a writer, you'll have to equate this to some other project you're elbow deep in. So there I was, watching my tale come alive on the screen and giggling in excitement. The story was full of twists and turns, excitement, mystery, and anything else I could throw at it. And the best part of all? It was almost finished. As Jason and I walked with Tess down one of our favorite trails, I couldn't contain my enthusiasm. I chattered on and on about the trials my characters had faced and the victories they had won. As I reached the point of the story I had just written, a look of confusion crossed Jason's face, and he asked a question. My excitement plummeted like a burst balloon. My story had a major plot hole, and I hadn't noticed it. Good grief. Before I go any further, let me say I appreciate Jason pointing out the elephant-sized hole. Had I published the story as it was, I would have been so embarrassed. But, oh, how I wished for a plot hole be gone button. But hey, no giving up, right? So, I swallowed my pride and lunged back into my writing to patch that hole before it swallowed my plot. What started as a sprint quickly became a full-blown marathon with many writes, rewrites, and re-rewrites. Gotta love the writer's journey. The highs of creativity and inspiration often smash headlong into the reality of being a mere human. Oddly enough, life often mirrors my writing escapades. We sketch grand blueprints, convinced we've mapped out a foolproof journey, only to encounter curveballs that throw our plans off track. Much like the plot holes I wrestle with, life is full of potholes that catch us unprepared. Yet, unlike my stories which often need rewrites, God's story for us is flawless. You see, God's storyline doesn't contain plot holes. He doesn't let any thread fray or any detail escape his watchful eye. His plan for our lives is intricate, regardless of the twists and turns. In his remarkable story, even the potholes have a purpose. For instance, let's look at Joseph's life in the book of Genesis. His dad doted on him, and his brothers hated him for it. In a tale only God could write, Joseph went from being pampered to being sold into slavery and later incarcerated. Talk about jaw-dropping plot twists. Yet, even amid the chaos, Joseph's life was woven into an awe-inspiring story of redemption. God had a plan. So, when we encounter plot holes and hairpin turns, let's remember Joseph's unshakable trust in God. Even in the face of adversity, Joseph clung to his faith, believing that God's ultimate purpose for him was way bigger than his current troubles. His life story reminds us that even when things don't seem good, God is working all things for our good. God's story is foolproof. Unlike me, he doesn't have hoopsie moments. No, everything he does is perfect. He is gracious and just, ensuring every chapter of our lives flows just as it should. As for those detours and potholes, they're not mistakes. They're chances for God to showcase his loyalty and grace. Now, if you'll excuse me, there's a story here that needs some tweaking. Beware, plot holes. I'm coming for you. As for God, his way is perfect, the word of the Lord is tried, he is a buckler to all those that trust in him. Psalm 18, verse 30.